It's Bob and Tom This Week, starring Chick McGee, Christy Lee, Josh Arnold, Ace Cosby, Pat Godwin, Willie Griswold, and Tom Griswold.
Whoops. And also the unbelievably popular feature that's sweeping America. How Tom is ruining listeners' lives across the country.
Love this.
Here's the latest episode from Bobby. Dear Numbnuts.
Bobby.
That must be me, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Yesterday, it was very windy in Ohio while I was getting money out of the ATM. Some of my money blew down the lot. I started chasing it. The first thought I had was to crumple it up and leave it on the ground because that would save time making me pick it up twice.
I never understand that.
But I realized it was smarter since it was in my hand. I just went ahead and put it in my pocket. Thanks, Tom. You're awesome.
Go ahead, Tommy. Tell the story.
I had the same thing happen. The ATM, the money came out. It just flew.
First of all, how do you go to an ATM?
Well, it happened to be a drive-through, but I parked.
Yes,
and walked up. There was no one else around.
Doesn't say park through.
Yeah, I don't.
It says drive-through.
I almost never use them, but and my money flew off. So I
flew off.
I chased after it.
It flew off.
You were on the phone.
He said it came shooting out of the machine.
It's not like a Japanese game show.
You guys weren't there. I was there. The money came flying out.
No, it didn't.
Well, then how do you explain it flying all over the
parking lot?
Because you were probably doing 9 things at once.
Looking at your phone.
And this machine makes this weird noise, and all of a sudden there's money everywhere.
So when I started chasing it, but it took too long to sort of plant my foot, grab the money, fold it, put it in my pocket. So I just crumpled it as I went.
Why didn't you just keep it in your hand?
Right, it's in your hand.
Because I wanted to have the dexterity of having a free hand.
Okay.
So I chased it, crumpled most of it as I went. Then I went back and picked it all up.
You got to get a driver, Dad.
Got all of it.
You got to get a driver.
Got all the cash.
But I'm with this guy. You already had the money in your hand.
Yeah, but then you got...
Just throw it in.
No, you want to have your hand free for the next...
Stuff it in your pocket real quick.
Nope.
I always forget that you only have the one hand.
Right.
Yeah. No, I was ambidextrous. I was hitting it with both. Now, in my defense...
Like a game show.
Oh, this is how Tom has made their life better?
Headline Tom is right. Thank you very much. This comes to us, dear masters of stupidity.
Oh, we've got our masters?
I used to drive a fuel tanker. One day, while filling the tanks at a gas station, a car pulled up about 20 feet from me to use the water and air station.
Right.
The underside of the car was on fire. I yelled at the guy to move his car because it was on fire. He said, no, it's not. It's just overheating. About then, the flames started shooting up the side of the car.
Oh, man.
Oh, my
The place turned into a traffic jam, everyone trying to get away. In the end, the fire department arrived, put out the fire. I had backed my truck over a curb and down a dirt hill to prevent a disaster.
Yeah.
Yikes.
Jeez.
I currently drive a produce truck. Well, thank you, Mr. K. We certainly appreciate it.
Yeah, man, oh, man.
Once again, I try to avoid gas stations while they're refueling.
Of course you do.
And there's some idiot smoking a cigarette.
Because you're insane.
Okay, all right.
And actually, here's how Chick has ruined my life. Dear adorable idiots.
Oh.
Mama Benjifishy. Well,
Mama Benji Fishy to you, sir.
Here's how Chick's ruined my life. Saquon Barkley
Quan Barkley
has a commercial for yogurt that runs on Hulu a lot. Every time the voiceover guy says his name, Saquon Barkley. Of course, I say Quan Barkley. My wife then says, what? And he says, I just giggled to myself. Then she gets mad. That's from Greg.
Oh, that's a classic.
I do that too. Every time I hear his name.
Can I actually have another email of how Tom changed my life forever. Can I do this one?
Yep.
We had a guy from Delta, Ohio, our pal Tanker Tony, who came out to see me and Pat on Friday night.
All right.
Tanker Tony says, Tom changed my life forever. He sleeps in many different hotel beds as a trucker, and every time I have to have my feet pointing north so the iron in my blood doesn't settle in my brain. If not for Tom, I would never worry about that.
Absolute fact.
And Tony, thank you for coming out.
Gosh sakes.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah, the built-in GPS that is the human body.
Tony's the man. He's
There
the
it
guy,
is.
Chick, who yelled out that Josh's dad is rich when we were in Bloomington a few weekends ago.
Oh, all right.
and then he happened to be in the neighborhood.
Oh, he's a good dude.
Yeah, he is the man, truly.
Okay, well, and Duke, I understand you've got a very special surprise for us.
You could say that.
All right.
Just did.
Are you ready for it?
Yeah.
This could be complete chaos.
Okay. That's what we like around here.
The bird of America has always been the bald eagle. But there's another feathered unsung hero too. Generation after generation giving up for the common good. Listen to the story, let the truth be understood. Oh, eat me! I'm a turkey. My heart, I'm red, white, and blue. Eat me! I'm a turkey. A true American patriot through and through. 1, 2, 3, 4. Other birds just split, flap, fly, and flutter. From the toucan to the tiny parakeet. Much meat. Pepper them with nuts, breadcrumbs, and butter. So, chop off my head and then turn up the heat. Eat me. Ha-ha, I'm a turkey. Stretch out on the sofa when you're through. Oh, eat me. I'm a turkey. Next day, I'll be a tasty sandwich, too. Now, turkeys have their splinter factions. Dissident birds, unwilling to serve. Foul, pinko, sissy, wimpy turkeys. That's right. But the major portion of these semi-flightless birds say, oh, eat me. Eat me. I'm a turkey. Yeah. Penguins and parrots wouldn't be the same. Oh, eat me. I'm a turkey. Yeah, gobble me up before the football game. Oh, boy. Hacky Gert and Uncle Hank, get that wishbone and give it a yank. Let's take this opportunity to thank. Who else but me? A turkey, that's right. Eat me like the Pilgrims used to do. Eat me! I'm a turkey! If I had a musket, I'd be eating you! I regret that I have but one carcass to give for my country. One good-looking turkey there, but we're going to stuff the son of a bitch. It's going to be really good, I'm telling you right now. Turkey.
The turkey's being walked off the camera. We have set up the guillotine.
Oh, look at that. My Lord, look at that.
What was the budget for this?
Holy hell.
Today, I consider myself the luckiest bird. This thing's not going to kill me this way. On the face of the earth.
Oh, boy.
Oh, just kidding. Happy Thanksgiving from the Robin Tom Show.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Bravo.
Wow.
How'd you like your surprise, everybody?
Loved it.
I loved it. He's got moves. I had no idea he could dance like that turkey.
It was like watching a late night movie. Where they've got the production values are
Right.
a little less than you're expecting.
Yes.
Just enough.
You've finally done it. That was a surprise.
Yes, that was.
Thank you very much.
That was a delight.
Duke, nice work. Nice arrangement of a classic Duke Tumatoe song.
Christy Lee at the Navy Federal Credit Union News Desk.
Howdy.
And there's Jess Hooker in the Hooker studio. There's Pat Godwin, the Oxford Gold Group Performance Room.
Hello.
There's Josh Arnold, the I Hate Steven Singer sidekick chair.
Hi.
I thought I'd do ladies first. What do you
Well,
think?
thank you. That's very nice
There
of
we
you.
go. There's
Jess and I appreciate it, don't we, Jess?
Oh, thanks.
Ace Cosby at the track phone hotline. I'm Chick McGee, the more dominant sex at the DoorDash Sports Desk. There's Willie Griswold, and there's
Speaking facts.
Tom Griswold.
Tom?
Nothing but facts.
Yes.
Have you ever ordered for a woman at a restaurant?
And she'll have...
I can't even order for my 5-year-old.
Oh, she likes to do it?
Oh, God, yeah. And then,
Don't you give the menus right back to the server when he comes back? What's good here? Don't you always do that?
I hate looking at a menu. I have to read all day long. Last thing I want to do is go to a restaurant and start doing homework.
I have to read all day long.
No, I said, what's good here?
God, what a dick.
You don't ask your lady what will you be having for dinner, and she says, I'll have a steak medium rare. And then when the waiter comes over, you'll say, the lady will have a steak
No, she's perfectly
medium rare.
capable of talking.
Right.
Well,
Christy, how do you feel about that?
I like it. I think
Because
it's
I have
very-
done it once or twice.
I think it's very cavalier. Very
How does Greg Hahn put it?
I'll have the filet mignon with a loaded baked potato and the side of asparagus.
And she'll have...
the hot dog.
Yeah, that's right.
I don't care. Call me old-fashioned. I like a man to open a door for me.
Yeah, when I hear she,
Fashion.
sometimes a woman will say, "Oh yeah, I'm going to have this," and then when the waiter, and she would love the.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I like that on occasion. That's nice.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
No.
No.
I only do it when I want more food. You know, I'll take the steak
Let me
and
ask
she'll
you
have the
something.
mozzarella sticks, the baked potato, cheese.
Make her look like the fatty.
Couple of
What if
Diet
you flip
Cokes.
the script and, like, what if a woman did that for you? What if she was like, I'm going to have and he'll have.
I would let it happen, and
Yeah.
I think I would kind of like it.
It's
Yeah.
not emasculating.
No, I don't care about that.
This
You know
gets to
what
a...
Tom would think? He'd go, boy, that lady's kind of a bull.
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
bossy.
Christy, I don't know if you can tell, I'm operating with very little masculinity.
So whatever she can bring to the table.
I'm really more of a lumberjill.
So you would really like a woman to just take care of you.
And I think
Yeah.
that all of us here have had dinner with you, one-on-one and
Yeah.
in a group situation. There, as far as I could see, when it was just us, me and you, Tom, there's nothing different between me sitting at your table and a stranger, because you just... It might as well be no one or whoever instead of your dining partner. Do you
Pat-
treat the significant other that way?
Was it you who was telling me a story? You were having lunch with Tom, and he answered his phone and walked out, and like 2 minutes later, you saw his car drive on.
Yeah, he answered the phone, and I was sitting there.
Oh my God, Pat, you had to pay?
No, he actually paid and left.
Oh,
Do you guys know this
About
story?
right.
if I hadn't paid, Pat would still be washing dishes.
Remember
I would have dishpan hands.
at
if I had-
Sam's graduation, you were the speaker, and you gave your speech, and then you dipped out the back. You didn't even watch the kid walk.
Well, sometimes an Irish goodbye is
It's
the
the
greatest
only way to
thing.
do
I
it.
love an
Yeah.
Irish
I
goodbye,
agree,
but
I agree.
Yeah, there was extenuating circumstances.
But everybody has a Tom, like, dinner story or lunch story. Like,
Yep.
we all have. Do you remember when he announced somebody's divorce and
Oh,
nobody
yeah.
knew?
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah.
no one told me nobody did.
No one
Amazing.
told me nobody knew.
And it was when we were meeting this guy for the first time.
Yep,
Yeah.
that's
I remember.
right.
And he didn't just go, "Hey guys, please,
No.
our dear friend here is going through a divorce." Wasn't it some awful
It
joke?
was a, yeah, it was
Yes.
a awful joke. We were just meeting him.
And the poor guy was so upset.
Yep.
We were
Sorry.
having lunch.
Sorry,
and
Spangle.
We were having lunch, and he told the waitress she had unusual looks. He meant to say exotic, I think.
Oh, no.
And
It was
Pat,
semi-human like.
Oh, God.
Pat, God forbid, you're eating with my dad. God forbid the server has a visible tattoo. What's the story on this? Is that
if
Greek?
it's a good one, I'll ask
Didn't
questions.
he do something with the nurse, too? Talk about skincare, and turns out it
Oh
was
my
a
gosh! Do you guys
symptom-
remember this?
Yeah.
You were in the hospital. Dad. I don't even know if you remember this story. This is how I knew you were okay. The nurse was putting you in your chair or whatever, and you go, you have to be careful. You have to wear sunscreen. Your arms are so red. And she goes, no, I'm menopausal. My hot flashes make my arms so red. And you go, oh, I never say anything like that. I never make comments on my disappearances.
I do remember that. Wow, she looked like she had a Spider-Man suit on. Her arms were so red.
She listens every day, by the way. She's a big fan.
We
so,
should make a documentary called "My Dinner with Griswold."
Yes, we
It'll
should.
be Wallace Shawn interviewing people who have dined with Tom.
Who survived?
It'd have to be a series, Josh.
Yes. Do you guys know his favorite line? Beginning of dinner, the server comes to the table. Hello, miss. Thank you for serving us. I promise we're going to be your
favorite table. Yep. That's exactly
My
right.
way of saying a good tip is on the way.
Do you and Kelly ever go to dinner, just the two of you?
Occasionally.
Occasionally.
Not lately.
Okay.
Let me think here.
Trouble at the home.
You may want to ask her.
No,
Maybe you wanna ask her on a
Friday.
date. Oh, good.
Oh,
so
very
that was
nice.
nice. Yeah.
It was lunch.
Yeah.
That's not dinner.
No. I think a lunch is really sweet.
Especially in this atmosphere when you have the schedules you guys
Right.
have.
You take a little time.
It was in a place.
Did you make out in the car?
On my phone.
On the phone.
I have a decibel meter.
Right.
This place I had lunch, more than 100 decibels.
See,
I can't stand that.
You know where I'm talking about.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Does that turn Kelly on when you go, it's
No,
so loud
just
here.
like
Look at
it's
this."
like having me go like this. My mouth's moving and nothing's no sound.
Maybe
is coming.
that's her way of enjoying life.
Wait a minute, she picked that.
Yeah, you're right. Hey, we're going to Loudy's.
I got to go there. I can't pay attention to anything you
It's
say.
the. Are you an opera fan, Josh?
You know, I've never been to one. And I've never quite listened to, I've never really sat down and listened.
I'm the Tiger of Seville.
Figaro.
Come on.
In
Yeah,
high
this may be
school-
the first opera where someone has a mullet.
Yeah.
In high school, I saw the opera Nixon in China. It was 4 hours long, and I thought I was going to get extra credit for some musical theory thing. Didn't get anything. I just sat through a whole 4-hour opera with a
Yikes.
Richard Nixon. It was
Man.
so odd.
Wow.
That is odd.
Do you know who went on to become a librettist?
Oh, here we go.
No, but I'm sure you're going to tell us.
The guy who played Jimmy Olsen in the old black and white Superman movies.
Who the?
Jack Larson.
Yeah.
It would have been a
Jack
dated
Larson.
reference if you saw the guy in the old Richard Donner Superman movie.
It would have been dated in 1965.
So you got Todd and Duke here.
Now, hang on. What good do you think you're doing when you say stuff like that? I don't understand.
Well, people
you.
can see that there are people who love opera, including the guy that played Jimmy Olsen. Okay, we got the guys in the other building. I think they're getting ready over there.
That fact made me so mad.
I'm so mad at
Todd
that
will
fact.
cheer us up, John.
Yes.
Y'all ready?
Yeah.
John's got that harmonica.
I got my mojo working, but it just don't work on you. I got my mojo working, but it just don't work on you. I won't look so bad till I don't know what I'm gonna do. I'm going down to Louisiana, I'm gonna buy me a mojo hand. If I'm going down to Louisiana, buy me a mojo hand. I'm gonna fix my woman so she don't ever love no other man. Hey, I got my mojo working. 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 I got my mojo working, but it just don't work on you. I got a gypsy woman, she giving me advice. I got a gypsy woman, she giving me advice. just don't wake on you.
Very nice.
Very strong.
nice.
Is your mojo working, Christy?
Oh, yeah, now it is.
Oh, that's good to
It
know.
worked on me, Todd.
There's Ace Cosby manning the track phone hotline. There's Willie Griswold.
Hey.
There's Tom Griswold. And Tom, we have a special guest.
Oh, we sure do. We haven't seen him in the flesh in a couple of years.
Right here
I
in the
think.
building. Yeah.
It's comedian and author Drew Hastings. Hey, Drew. Good to see you.
How
sir.
are you guys?
Good.
Great, nice to see you.
I thought you had your phone up to your ear, and it just dawned on me you're holding your headphones behind your head.
Oh, yes. Well, I'm holding one up to my ear.
Oh, okay.
He doesn't want to mess up his hair
No.
because he's trying to win the Rod Stewart in 1975 lookalike
It's a good
contest.
look.
Well, no, I don't like to mess up the hair. I've got a show Friday.
Oh, sure. Yeah, yes, you got to prepare.
I like the finger on the ear look. You look like Mariah Carey about to do a.
You know, a lot of people say that.
Now, to get that rooster look, is that dippity do? What is the?
Dippity doo.
You'd be surprised.
No, you cut into the hair. It's not a matter of product. Although I have products going back into the early 90s. I have product, Tom, that is so old that it's gone bad and then gone rancid, the product, and then reconstituted itself and it's now usable again.
Wow.
Drew Hastings will be on stage. This is great. With Jeff Oskey from our
What?
show.
Wow.
Coming up this Friday. Is it pronounced Blakesley?
Yeah, the Blakesley Center, yes.
In Middleport, Ohio, the Blakesley Center. And once again, that's coming up this Friday night with Drew Hastings and Jeff Oskey. It'll be a great show.
And you got a link or something on there, on your site or something?
Oh, I'm sure.
Maybe.
I'm
So
sure.
So yeah, it's at the Middleport. So these people called me. You know, I got to tell you, I, for all intents and purposes, had retired. I didn't announce it. I wasn't a big deal, but I was just like, I still don't know if I'm doing stand-up again. And then they called me and said, we'd like to have you at our theater. And so I asked about them. So what are you about? And they said, well, we're a nonprofit. And I said, so did you contact me? Did you want me because you're trying to fulfill your mission statement?
You were a really good buddy of John Prine.
I was really close to John.
Very sadly lost.
Yeah.
John Prine's story is so interesting. If you're not familiar with John Prine's story, the basic part is he was a postman.
Yeah.
He was in Greater Chicago, and one night, one of the more famous movie reviewers in Chicago was at a movie that was so bad he left. He was walking by a bar, and he went inside and saw John Prine singing and wrote a review of John Prine instead of the movie. And it launched his career.
Wow.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Oh.
Kind of an oddball.
It was Siskel and Ebert.
Yeah, it was
Roger Ebert.
Yeah.
It was quite literally, I forget what movie he was seeing that was so bad he left. And he just happened to walk into this bar and saw John Prine and wrote this article about this postman who was this great singer-songwriter and launched John's career. And he was able to quit working at the post office.
Yeah.
And playing guitar full time. But you were friends. Did you ever tour with him?
A bunch, lots, for years. And went to Europe with him one time, too. And he's really different than... I've met a lot of singers, but he's the only singer I've ever met that just has no Liza Minnelli in him at all. And most singers have just a smidge. You know?
Wow.
He's just a nice guy, just a grounded... he was, you know. One of the greats, and kind of like Nashville's Hank Williams now. All the young people, Margot Price, Sturgill Simpson, Jason Isbell, all of them, they have one hero, and it's John Prine. Yeah.
No Liza Minnelli in him.
That's a brilliant line.
Wow. No, Josh, you always want to have little Peter Allen in you.
Liza didn't get
I
that
watched
either.
a video when I was younger and things imprinted, but we don't need to talk about them.
Sorry. What do you want to play, Tom?
I was going to play a John Prine song.
Oh, cool. Okay, great.
I met him when I was 28 years old, and he was working on that Missing Years. But he had this song that I always thought was so funny. He said, woke up this morning, put on my slippers, walked into the kitchen and died. And know what a feeling when my soul went through the ceiling and on up into heaven I did ride. But when I got there, they did say, John, it happened this way. You slipped upon the floor and hit your head. And all the angels say just before you passed away, these were the very last words that you said. You said, please don't bury me down in the cocoa ground. Well, I'd rather have them cut me up and toss me all around. Throw my brain in a hurricane and the blind can have my eyes. Deaf can have both my ears if they don't mind the size. Send my stomach to Milwaukee if they run out of beer. Put my socks in a cedar box, just get them out of here. Venus de Milo can have my arms, look out, I've got your nose. Sell my heart to the junk man and give my love to Rose. But please don't bury me down in the cocoa ground. I'd rather have them cut me up, pass me all around. Throw my brain in a hurricane and the blind can have my eyes. The deaf can take both my ears if they don't mind the size. Yeah, the deaf can take both my ears if they don't mind the size.
Yeah. Boy, that's great. Yeah. Todd Snider, a little tribute to the great John Prine. Now, what's going on in sports that will segue into this story?
Banged up Cleveland Browns quarterback Baker Mayfield. They'll have to let someone else look after his home because he takes care of Brown Stadium. You know, he goes down and answers the door. His wife forgets his keys. Man, that's hilarious. He's day-to-day now after bruising his right knee, his left knee, his weenie,
his high knee.
No, it was his right knee. And Sunday's big-time loss to Cleveland, a big-time loss to New England, 45-7. Mayfield has been playing with a damaged left shoulder for weeks and had to leave in the third quarter after being hit by blitzing Patriots linebacker Matthew Judon. Meanwhile, Browns cornerback Troy Hill, they call him the Thrill, has been released from a Boston area hospital after being treated for a neck sprain in Saturday's loss to the Patriots.
In the hospital with Troy Hill.
I think it's my neck, Tom.
We gave him a pill.
Now
but he took a spill. Still.
And now he doesn't care.
Pat, leave the music to us, please.
And, of course, as we told you earlier, Ben Roethlisberger remains in COVID protocol. So that means that Mason Rudolph remains as the backup quarterback for the Pittsburgh Steelers.
We have a handout, if you will.
Handout?
Did everyone get a handout?
No, I just want to say everyone can sing along here. This is a new song from Pat. Christy, can you pass these
Take one and pass it
Sorry,
down.
Take one down, pass it around.
But unlike the old days of mimeograph paper, when a great scene in Fast Times at Ridgemont High, when they get the test, they'll go, those days are gone.
Yes, those days are gone.
What if you can buy that like in spray?
Mimeograph spray?
Yeah, just for that good old-fashioned mimeograph smell.
Might be a candle out there.
You think so?
Maybe.
Oh, if there isn't, there should be.
I'll look that up.
Are you thinking about joining us here in the 21st century at any time?
But I think they say that smells bring back memories more than anything.
That's
right.
true.
Yeah.
Don't you think if you were somehow transported back to your childhood home, you'd walk
Willie,
in and
do you
smell
know?
it?
Do you know
Yeah, it smells like paneling.
your father's talking about mimeographs? Other than Fast Times?
No, only from the show. As people, the druggies would do it, and they would smell the paper, and it would get them stoned, right?
Oh, there you go. Yeah,
No, it was
just a good smell.
It was very aromatic
Yeah.
if it was fresh from the mimeograph
It was a
machine.
good smell.
Yeah.
They weren't getting high. They were just nerds that like to
you just
stimulate their
Right.
olfactories.
Yeah.
They capture it perfectly in Fast Times.
Like when you get a new book, don't you smell that? It smells good in there.
yes.
Or what was the thing we had there? We actually had a candle about new technology. Like Apple released a candle or something. It smelled like a new laptop. Remember that?
Wow.
I'm not nuts. We did the story.
Okay.
I don't remember
It's the only one that
laptops
listens.
smelling.
But I think your idea of mimeograph smelling candles, genius. But the point is,
Well,
Pat,
did you notice, though, teacher's pet got to go and run off the tests on the mimeograph machine?
I did it.
really?
Oh, yeah.
No doubt.
I bet you
Where did all those
sang
mimeograph
like a canary.
are they still used at all?
I worked in the office, too.
I don't know.
You did.
You suppose that there's a
Those
place that's
mimeograph machines? I don't know, and you get that ink all over you. It was kind of a dirty job,
Is
actually.
there a warehouse
Well,
full
somebody
of
had
them
to do
somewhere?
it.
Well, the point is, there's a handout here. Now, Chick's going to handle the first part, then we can sing along in the chorus. This is a new composition from Pat Godwin.
You don't want to coach me at all before I start?
No, I think this will be a train wreck. I'm looking forward to it. Can you explain the situation again?
Oh, my God in heaven.
The backup quarterback, his name for the Pittsburgh Steelers is Mason Rudolph.
Okay, here we go.
Now?
Sure.
You know Minshew and Flacco, Warner and Flutie. And until Bledsoe got hurt, Brady was on the bench, like poor Rudy. But do you recall the least famous backup of all?
Rudolph, the backup QB, hasn't really touched the ball. He's filling in for Roethlisberger due to COVID protocol.
Out for 10 days.
All of the other Steelers hardly even knew his name.
Is it Tyler?
They never let poor Rudolph start in any football game.
Even Thursdays.
Then one rainy Sunday, then he came to say, Rudolph, I know you're very green, but I just got COVID-19. That's you. It's only the winless Lions. The fans let out a sigh. But Rudolph, the backup QB, could only get the team a tie. Ties are for Father's Day, not Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Thank you very much. A nice tribute to Mason Rudolph. Very, very good.
I bet nobody else is singing about him today.
Tom Griswold, we have a special guest.
Yes, I think we can safely say he's the finest comedian in the English language. It's our friend Jim Gaffigan. Hey, Jim, how are you?
Hi, how's it going? I got up early to get my hair done.
Yeah. Looks nice.
Blown out to a jet?
That's good. Yeah.
You know, the thing is, it's like it used to be when you would call in to a radio station, you didn't have to worry how you look.
Right.
I mean, believe me, I generally don't care how I look at all.
Clearly.
Come on.
But I'm excited. So Chick, what kind of like via satellite sponsor am I part of? Is this like the Uber Eats?
You could be. Yeah, well, no, I'm the at the DoorDash sports desk, so maybe you could get in on that with me. I mean, I DoorDash quite a lot.
I think you might like to be part of Ace Cosby's joke of the day, Omaha Steaks chair.
There you
Jim
go.
Gaffigan.
How about that?
Omaha Steaks. Yeah, well, that's, I'm for steak.
You pro steak?
First in your country, first in steaks. That's
So
right.
Jim is back on the road doing live comedy again. A bunch of shows coming up, including the Gainbridge Fieldhouse in Indy coming up Friday. Saturday, Cincinnati at the Heritage Bank Center. Lots of places that you can hear us. Springfield, Milwaukee, and Salt Lake and Boise, Idaho. But the one that's intriguing to me, Jim, I noticed that you're going to be in Beaver Creek, Colorado. Ski country. Yes. And I'm trying. Don't you take the family skiing annually?
I do, because I think it's important to expose your children to something they most likely won't be able to afford to do when they're older.
Right.
It's my wife. My wife is like, it's a good idea. And as I get older, I know I look really young, but as I get older, I'm less. It's just like the whole skiing thing is just trying not to die or injure yourself. You're like, all right, I'm going to be taping a special, so I want to make sure that I don't have a broken leg. I don't know. My knees don't bend anymore.
Oh wow. Well, I'm heading to Beaver Creek myself real soon, so I'm hoping to survive. It may be tough, but by the way, Feb 16 will be the Vilar Performing Arts Center in Beaver Creek. Lots of big shows coming up. You're in the road. What's it like being back on stage? Number one and number two. It notes here that it's going to be all new material.
It is. It is all. It's great to be back out there. There's a certain, after, and now that we're kind of through Delta, take medical advice from me. But it feels like people are so excited to just get out of their house, and they're thrilled to, get some live entertainment. Because, like during the pandemic, you really became aware of how important your occupation was to society. And let's just say stand-up comedian, not essential. Not even essential. They opened strip clubs before they let us tell a joke. Right?
Now, when you say all new material, I'm going to ask this. Last time I saw your show, it was brilliant. And then at the end of the show, I hope I'm not giving something away, you came out and kind of did your Stairway to Heaven, and you did some augmented versions of some of the classics like the Hot Pockets, because I guess in a way, in the only way that you're like Led Zeppelin, you do have to do your Stairway to Heaven.
Yeah, I mean, we both wear shorts. I mean, well, maybe that's AC/DC, right? Like, I don't even know. It varies. Like now I've got this, this new hour and a half. So it's, like the classics. It's weird. I've kind of post-pandemic or wherever we are in this thing. Because the pandemic is kind of like, it's like we thought it was over. It's kind of like a Netflix show you thought was canceled, and then it got picked up by Netflix. Yeah. You're like, well, I didn't pace myself for another season of this. But as of now, I'm doing all new stuff, but it's weird, like a couple of years ago I was kind of doing some classics, but now it's to the point where I don't know, it's like I feel like the Hot Pocket thing, it's maybe it is, some people consider it a classic, but I don't need people yelling it anymore. So I don't want to feed that.
Now, do you kind of in your heart of hearts hope that the Hot Pockets people come out with a new flavor, if you will, so you have a reason to bring it back up?
It's tempting, and they're never going to stop, right? I mean, but it is one of those things where, like, even like I've been trying to like not talk about food as much. Now just my ticket sales just dropped. But no, I'm trying to, there's different things but like the Hot Pocket thing is strange because there is a point where you're like, it's just getting ridiculous, where they're just, I guess the next step is a fish Hot Pocket, right? And it's just, but like when I was in Omaha, they have the Runza, which is like a German Hot Pocket, which actually tells you what it's going to give you.
We should point out, in case you don't recognize that voice or that face if you're watching, it's Jim Gaffigan, one of the great comedians, and he's on a big tour right now. And you're going to be doing a residency in Vegas. It looks like you'll be at the Wynn on December 8th, but then you're back there again, if I'm reading this correctly, coming up in May for several nights. You don't strike me as being a Vegas guy. I don't see you on the floor throwing your money around.
Like, gambling's the only addiction I don't have. So it's like I'm safe in Vegas. I mean, as long as I stay away from the buffet, but yeah, no. What's interesting is I was talking to Birbiglia, earlier this week, and we were just, some of what prompted this is like, we were just talking about how integral Bob and Tom was to our career. And just, it's like, everyone's life kind of goes separate ways and you become so busy. But like, I just wanted to articulate how much I appreciate being part of the Bob and Tom family. And now's the point where I ask for money.
Time's tight. How much you need, buddy? I got your back.
Well, actually, comedian Mike Birbiglia stays at Dean's house when he's here, so Jim has the good taste to at least use a hotel.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
Now, are you going to do, before we let you go, Jim, are you going to be doing a big Thanksgiving at your place in New York City, or are you going to be off somewhere?
we're going to be in Milwaukee with the in-laws. I feel like this is going to be an interesting Thanksgiving because this is really the first one where we're going to be full on in-laws, right? And there was like the one thing we revealed that was revealed during the pandemic was how many crazy people there are in the world and how many of them are related to us. Because everyone had that relative or friend that just came out as bonkers. And so it'll be nice to see them and eat some turkey with them.
Yes.
Right?
Lastly, one last question, Jim. At your shows, many comedians sell what they call merch. They'll have T-shirts or hats or something. My son Willie is going to be having lighters that have the marijuana leaf and a line through them. Do you have any merch items? And if so, which one is the big seller?
I do posters that are, it's kind of something. It's great, like to. It's good for the graphic designers. It's not like a huge, lucrative thing, but yeah, just so people have a memento. But I never really got that into it. I mean, maybe at a time, I don't know. I've been doing this for 100 years now. So it's like, maybe I did at one point.
Cassettes, CDs, 8 tracks.
It's like, I mean, I have CDs in this room I'm in. They might as well be 8-track, right?
Jim, one of my prized possessions is a Jim Gaffigan Beyond the Pale tour poster that you signed for me, and it says, "To Willie, you're my favorite Tom son. Well, top 3." And I love it.
And I have 3 sons, of course. I saw Jim's last tour. I've been to hundreds of comedy shows. Absolutely number one. This man is the finest stand-up comedian out there in the English language, and probably in Spanish as well. I don't know what other. That's it. I guess my last stupid question. Do they ever try to translate your act? So if you're on Netflix or whatever with a special, is there a version running in France where they've got it dubbed or?
Yeah, they do the subtitles. It's, supposedly there was a guy in France that was doing a bunch of American comedians material, and the French people didn't know because obviously they only speak French. And so it was a big expose. I was interviewed by the equivalent of 60 Minutes in France. And this guy was just like, he would watch American comedy specials and he would just steal all the material. And he was like a big star.
Le Hot Pockets.
Wow. Yeah, it was kind of brilliant, really.
Once again, Jim Gaffigan, the show's coming up this week will include Indy and Cincinnati. He's doing a Midwestern swing. He's going to be in Milwaukee, also hitting Boise, and lots of spots. We'll link to Jim Gaffigan's website. It's called The Fun Tour, all new material. It's great seeing you, Jim.
Yes.
Thanks so much for taking the time to call.
With you guys.
Nice surprise. Enjoy your day.
Take care.
You too.
Good to see you guys.
All right, man.
Your hair looks great.
Bye.
Well, I wouldn't have said that. That's a lie.
I'm not lying.
A little dig at the end.
Get a coat.